Just a warning before we get into this video includes talk on self-harm. Maybe skip this one if that kind of content could trigger you. The new episode of Rick and Morty dives deep into the psyche of Rick Sanchez, showing a bright new side of the character that is honestly refreshing. For what seems like the first time in his life, Rick doesn't engage foes that he can super easily conquer and takes a fascinating backseat in the latest episode of Season 6. Before we cannonball into this character building pool, I would greatly appreciate you all subscribing to this channel and checking out my main page, Killjoy Jake, where I cover horror news. I will also be releasing a Scream fan film over there that I have been working on for 2 whole years. Check out Red Right Hand on December 20th. Alright, enough of the annoying YouTube garble, let's talk about piss. Oh, you think I'm kidding? No way, Jose. Today we are literally analyzing piss. In this new episode, Rick and Morty are fighting a fan favorite character from Season 5, Rick's arch nemesis, Mr. Nimbus. Nimbus easily gets away, shaking his entire dick and balls in the process. Man is packing sheesh. After this short-lived fight, Cookie Magneto shows up. I will never get tired of the ridiculous side characters they throw into the mix sometimes. Wow. This dude's power is so useless. How did he even make it this far as a superhero? Rick effortlessly defeats him, as there are no cookies around for him to wield. Morty suggests to Rick that he should figure out why all of this keeps happening to him. Why are all these people coming after him to fight him? Rick takes this advice to heart and visits Dr. Wong, voiced by the incredible Susan Sarandon. I mean Sarandon. Damn, I always mess that up. Dr. Wong challenges Rick to just ignore these nerds for a week and see what will happen. Although Rick hates this idea, he has never really tried it. With that logic, he decides to take her advice after seemingly killing the latest supervillain that came after him. RIP to the weird little green dude. Another foe challenges Rick, Pissmaster, possibly the worst villain from the bunch so far. He sprays the Smith residence with piss and even threatens to piss on Summer. Dude, she's like 17. Rick still chooses to do nothing about the situation and lets Jerry handle it. When I first watched this, I thought to myself, this must be the most purposefully boring fight in the series' history. But on second viewing, I realized it may be one of my favorite scenes in the show thus far. Jerry, for once in his miserable life, successfully did something good, even if he gives the worst one-liner in history right before.
Yeah, you don't know me, but I'm gonna know your whole ass, you son of a gun.
After Jerry blows up on social media for his vigilante work, being dubbed the Flamingo Dad, Rick warns him of the dangers of going viral. Hilariously enough, this leads to Jerry getting an orb of power that allows him to later blow up a planet of comically themed Hitlers. In one of the best jump cut jokes I've seen, Jerry saves the lives of an estimated 30 billion souls across the galaxy by taking out what I can only assume was Hitler planet? Why does this even exist? What the fuck? But anyways, Jerry is fucking awesome now. Hell yeah to that guy. As Rick continues to sit on the sidelines, he gets frustrated with Jerry's success, knowing he could do the same if not better. He ambushes Dr. Wong to receive a harsh truth. All of his complaining is for nothing. He realizes how ridiculous it is to complain about his son-in-law taking out a planet full of Hitlers. Like, that's one of the best things that could ever happen. With this realization, Rick continues to sit on the sidelines. I think this is one of my favorite parts of the episode. Typically, Rick would do something at this point to meddle with Jerry's success. Maybe he'd create a giant baby monster to go after a planet. That would be way too morally conflicting for Jerry to handle, and technically the series has already dealt with giant floating space babies. That's a very sticky and gross discussion for another video though. Since Rick actually makes a good decision here, we are now on a different course with this episode. We get to see a healthy side of Rick that really feels refreshing. I'm not looking for this side of Rick in every episode. Like I said in last week's video, I don't want to disturb the awesome character dynamics at play here, but seeing a softer side of Rick humanizes this godlike character. That's excellent writing. Getting back on track, Rick overhears some aliens making fun of Pissmaster at a bar, specifically calling him a loser. Rick can unfortunately relate to this, and takes a six-pack over to Pissmaster's shoddy-looking place. In a dark turn for the episode, we see Pissmaster has slit his wrists in the bathtub. Rick tries everything he can to bring the character back, but he is too late. Pissmaster's daughter shows up worrying about her father. Rick pretends to be Pissmaster by wearing his helmet and telling her he's not going to do anything bad to himself. She leaves and Rick finds Pissmaster's last will and testament. It says that all he ever wanted was to change the way people thought about him, hopefully in a better light. The way this episode takes a generic and over-the-top Batman-esque supervillain and humanizes him is so powerful. I hate to admit it, but I was tearing up a bit here for a character named Pissmaster. Rick and Morty consistently has the option to be just another adult animated show, but because they do things like this, I will always have respect for the people that sit in the writer's chair. This is above and beyond writing for an adult animated comedy. Get that fucking Emmy, y'all. Rick then takes up the mantle of the Pissmaster and changes his image by saving countless cities and planets from destruction. Jerry gets wind of this at the Council of the Orbs, or whatever the fuck that was called, and is sent on a mission to give Pissmaster an orb due to his newfound heroism. Jerry reluctantly does so. I mean, he thinks this is the same guy that threatened to pee on his daughter. I totally get it. Mad respect, Jer Bear. Jerry finds Rick in the Pissmaster getup right before he is about to hilariously save a town full of orphan children from a bomb in the middle of the city. Maybe this is also awful to call this part hilarious, but I guess Rick planted the bomb there so he could save the town and fake Pissmaster's death. This is giving Syndrome from The Incredibles kinda energy, and I dig it, even if it is villainous in nature. Jerry tries to stop Rick after refusing the orb. When Jerry catches up to him, he finds out Rick is Pissmaster after demasking him. Rick thankfully saves the town full of orphans and his family with the orb, and they all return home powerless now. The council takes their orbs away, and Jerry apologizes to Rick for trying to stop him. All of the guilt builds up in Rick, and he tells Morty that Pissmaster died and that he blamed Jerry in the note he found. This has the family in an uproar, and the episode closes out with the family once again angry with Rick. I love this ending because it shows that Rick has made some progress, but he's still not completely there yet. This is uncharted waters for the smartest man in the universe. It shows that even a god amongst men still has a lot to learn. I love these episodes that are not only hilarious, but also give you a lot to chew on. The way Rick will restructure his thinking for future episodes, or not, has me excited. I wonder if this will affect any future meetings with comically themed supervillains like Mr. Nimbus, for instance, who is made fun of in the after the credits scene. Speaking of future endeavors, next week's episode looks like it's gonna be a blast as well. Morty is offered an opportunity to fight alongside the Knights of the Sun. Rick, of course, thinks that sounds fucking boring, but I'm gonna guess Morty takes up the sword as the altruist he still somehow is. What did you guys think of the latest episode of Rick and Morty? Tell me something about it in the comments below. Real quickly, I want to shout out Silas Chambers 7465 and this person's brother for getting me to 600 subscribers. Thank you guys so much, and hopefully soon we can hit my goal of 69,420 subscribers. Thanks for watching, subscribe please, and I'll see you in the next one, Space Cowboy.